Firstly, let me just say thank you so much for 500 subs. All the likes, all the watches, and all the comments just mean the world to me. I'm really happy to get to 500. Thank you all. Okay, now, I'd like to share with you what I do every Halloween. This is my movie marathon list. So, from the 13th to the 31st, I watch a Halloween film each day. So in order not to double up with the same kind of film, like too many ghost films, too many vampire films, zombie films, I have a criteria. Let me just walk you through what kind of films are covered in the horror genre. So first of all, we have paranormal. So under this category, we have ghosts, haunted houses, and supernatural. So if you think of films that fit into those kind of brackets, you'll think of, The Innocents, 13 Ghosts, Ju-on, and then supernatural, that could be something like Carrie. Okay, next category I use is the occult, which covers possession, witchcraft, religious beliefs, the devil and demons, things like that. The next category is possibly my favorite, psychological, which covers phobias, fanaticisms, madness, paranoia, home invasion, survival, and body horror. Lots of great ones there. Then we have killer, which covers your slashers, backwoods horrors, hillbilly kind of movies, and gore. Then finally we have monster, which involves zombie, virus, werewolf, vampire, nature. When I say nature, I mean things like Jaws, living things. And then neo-monsters, new ones that are made up, Pumpkinhead, stuff like that. And sci-fi and aliens. Okay, let's dig into it. Of course there are other genres as well, like comedy and anthologies, and there's all sorts, but even like the Italian genre, giallo. You'll see what I mean. Let me just talk you through what my choices are. So, starting on the 13th, we have Nightmare on Elm Street. Everything about this film is iconic and synonymous with horror. Freddy is just like the ultimate villain to me. He can get you where you can't defend yourself, in your dreams. Oh yeah, talking about the 1984 version here, not that new one. Then on the 14th, I'm watching Idle Hands, which is a comedy. This one takes me back to my youth. Being a big Offspring fan, I heard that they were in a film, and I just wanted to see what it was like, not really expecting much, and I found it hilarious, honestly. It's got all the tropes of the horror genre, and it doesn't really take itself too seriously, and it's set around Halloween. It's got a bit of demon, hell kind of stuff going on. It's just really funny, and Jessica Alba too. Then we've got on the 15th, Midsommar. Now, I went to the cinema for this one, and I absolutely loved it, to be honest with you. I know it gets mixed reviews, and it's not really everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's imaginative, fresh, and very unsettling. I mean, cults and witches scare the shit out of me as well, so that's going to be great fun. I think there's a lot of rewatchability to this one, so I'll be looking for stuff I missed the first time. Then on the 16th, we've got the Inerasable. Going into this one blind, but it contains the same staff from Hontoni Atano Roi no Video. And if you don't know what that is, that's a TV show in Japan where they have all these like spooky clips sent into them, and then, stuff would move by itself. Really cool ghost clips and paranormal things. It was an amazing show. I think it's going to be a winner, this one. It looks like it's not just a haunted house film from the trailer, and I'm guessing that it's about a site that accumulated a lot of hateful feelings. Maybe not too dissimilar to Ju-on, The Grudge. I'm not 100% on this one until I watch it, but the trailer promises many creepy moments, so let's hope so. Japanese title, Zane. So on the 17th, I've got The Dead of Night, 1945. So this is a great film, and it's one of the first horrors, if not the first horror, after the Second World War that Britain put out there. And I love an anthology. It was between this one and VHS, and I felt like this one needed a rewatch. The segment about the doll is particularly chilling. And maybe I should look up doll stories for this channel. On the 18th, You're Next. Home invasion horror. Oh yeah. I hadn't seen a good home invasion flick since The Strangers, or to a kind of extent, No Vacancy, until I found this one. Now, I haven't watched it for a couple of years now, so I'm excited to see if it ages well. I think it will, though. I get freaked out by weirdos in masks who want to break into my house and, like, kill me and stuff. So, this is going to scare me, and I can't be the only one who feels like it. On the 19th, The Lost Boys. Can I shock you? I haven't actually seen this one before. I know. I'm in a few horror groups on Facebook and such, and this one pops up all the time. To be honest, it looks like pure 80s horror joy. I know a lot of people hold this dear in their creepy little hearts, and for those, I bet you'd like to be in my shoes. Going into this one blind. Looks fun, music sounds great, and yeah, just really looking forward to watching it. Okay, on the 20th, here's another one I haven't seen. Possum. I think it's about madness and paranoia. It looks very promising. I love the creepy little rhyme in the trailer, and I had a little glance, a little skim at the reviews. As you can see on the poster here, it looks pretty good. But I don't know much about it, so I'm looking forward to it. And I chose not to research it, so hopefully it's good. If you've seen it, let me know. On the 21st, I'm watching Psycho. It's a total classic. No one does suspense. The twists and turns better than the big cock, Hitchock. Absolutely iconic and still chilling after 60 years. It was either this or The Shining. I love both of them so much, but I think I've seen The Shining a lot more than I've seen this one, so I think it's time to rewatch Psycho as well. On the 22nd, Critters. Monsters. Cheesy monster madness with face-changing aliens. Hey, I'm a child of the 80s, give me a break. Big part of my childhood, this one. Always fun, and it might prove as a bit of a relief from the other psychological horrors, because I always come out of this month like somewhat jaded. But yeah, in the 80s, all those great films that came out, like Gremlins, this one, this little creepy monster dude, so I loved all of those. On the 23rd, Kairo. Now, I'm talking about the original, not Pulse, the remake. One of the reasons I love Japanese horror is because the chills don't really come from jump scares with loud noises or like slashing and killing. And this might bore some, but if you give it a chance, you may find that it can frighten the bejesus out of you. It's an apocalyptic horror about loneliness and ghosts. Lights off, leave that phone alone, just live it. And if you get to the scene where the woman approaches the sofa, that'll freak you out. I studied this one at uni, and I really enjoyed it. On the 24th, I'm watching Deep Red. Profound Rosso, I think. Murder that pronunciation. This is a giallo film. I think giallo is right, or giallo. I think it's giallo. Now, I'm a big fan of Dario Argento's work. I've saved this one. I've purposely not watched this one. I've recently got into giallo films. Murder mystery horrors, in a sense. I got a good feeling about this one. I've been told to go for the full 126-minute version as opposed to the 105-minute version. And that matters massively somehow. So, if you know what that means, let me know. And if, am I missing out if I watch the shorter one? I'm obviously going to watch the longer one, but I'd like to know the difference. But yeah, big buzz about this one, so looking forward to it. It was either this one or Suspiria, and I've seen Suspiria recently, and the new one. And the new one's great as well. Okay, on the 25th, I'm watching Lake Mungo. This is a found footage documentary, haunted house kind of job. This is a creepy flick I stumbled across a few years back. It's about a family coping with grief. A family coping with grief comes to some unexpected kind of discoveries surrounding the death of their daughter and the sister, Snoop. Now, there's loads of twists and turns in this haunted house kind of flick, and there's like these scenes that just stay with you. But if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's so underrated. It's just makes your skin crawl. Okay, on the 26th, I'm watching The Fly. Yeah, love it. Just a total gross out. It's fascinating and disturbing, sci-fi and body horror. It has fantastic effects for the 80s too. And I'm just looking forward to watching it again. It's been a few years now. Jeff Goldblum, he's amazing in this. Dog Soldiers, on the 27th. That's my werewolf. I just love this one. Bunch of army dudes in the woods on a training session, and then werewolves. It's jumpy, fun, and scary. It's not really your average werewolf film, but it was written by Neil Marshall, the guy who brought us The Scent. It's another good one. It's a great action horror, and It's funny as well. It's really British, so that's why it's on my list. On the 28th, I'm watching Rosemary's Baby, which covers the demon and occult section. This one is particularly poignant currently, as I've just moved into a new place, which is maybe why my microphone sounds so odd, bouncing around these walls. I think I've got it sorted now though, I hope. Feel free to disagree. Anyway, this one is just so good. I think you could even argue that it's not really a horror film, but if you look closely, you'll see nearly every aspect of horror rolled into this one. I think it deserves its acclaim. It's a bit of a long one, but it's a slow burn, and I like films like that. Yeah, looking forward to it. 29th, Predator, 1987. Yeah, aliens and UFO covered here, and monsters, I think. Nearly went with Fire in the Sky for the abduction scene, but the lineup in that film is nothing like the lineup in Predator. I mean, body mass alone. Yeah, Arnie fighting a seemingly indestructible alien is very much something I want to see repeated. On the 30th, I'm watching Trick or Treat, another anthology. Now we are entering the end game. This is the one you chuck on and you carve your pumpkins to, or you just do some kind of spooky activity. Another anthology of tales which link up in the same vein that Pulp Fiction does. It's everything for Halloween as well. It's the fallen leaves, the decoration Halloween parties that make me want to get over to America and experience a proper Halloween one year. I'd love that. The bus story is the one that stayed with me. Can't recommend it highly enough. After this movie, I've got myself a little ticket to watch a live stream. I'm watching Cradle of Filth. Oh yeah. Then, the big day has arrived, Halloween. It's Halloween, and everyone's entitled to one good scare. Death has come to your little town, sheriff. You know what I'm talking about. It's Halloween, the 1977 version. I mean, just go on those quotes alone. If they don't bend up your spooky little bum bones, I don't know what will. This is the ultimate horror slasher, and for the best day of the year. What if the bogeyman was real and came to your town on the darkest night of the year? That's what John Carpenter did for us. Lock the doors, check your wardrobes before enjoying this one in the dark with some popcorn. And then afterwards, we're going to be watching Night of the Living Dead. Zombies. Bonus flake. I usually book Halloween off work each year so I can drink beers and watch horror films. All the more reason to do so this year since the COVIDian blues have chased away all of our Spooktober plans. It's really depressing. But if you imagine the Horde of the Dead as the virus in this picture, then it makes it a little easier to stay inside. End your Halloween on a classic. Some notable absentees here, and some of my personal favourites. These are the ones who just slipped out of the cut this year. Will most likely appear next year. We've got The Blackcoat's Daughter, Pin, Uzumaki, The Blair Witch Project, Suspiria, The Witch, Child's Play, Ju-on, Ringu, The Fourth Kind, The Blair Witch Project, House of the Devil, The Shining, American Psycho, my favourite film, Onibaba, An American Werewolf in London, The Innocents, Aliens, and The Evil Dead. So, what do you think of my list? Any good? Is it bad? Is it awful? Is it alright? Let me know. And hey, if you found a film you feel like watching, I'm glad I was of some help. If you have any questions, put them down below. I'll try my best to answer them. Have a great Halloween, guys. I'll be back soon with more scary stories. Thank you.